right, y'all. Well, good evening. Tonight, do I say, oh, well, okay, whatever. Our topic is, as a parent, how many choices do you allow the other parent to disappoint your child before you call it quits or connect or on connecting with them? Or do you always leave the door open? Hi. So it is me, Bree. I'm hosting tonight in the place of J Smooth. And there's Brittany. And there's you.
Hey,
So now we're gonna jump right into it.
ladies first. I'll let Brittany go first.
So with this topic, I don't have a personal experience with that because I don't have any chillings. But I think that you should always leave the door open because there's no reason why you should just isolate your child from the other side of the parent, even though the other one was really not participating. They should always have some type of connection or so, or even the other parent have access to maybe at that time period it wasn't good for them, but the parent maybe progressed and they feel like they're in a better situation is where they could contribute to it, whether it's if they weren't there mentally or emotionally, maybe they're in a better place that way, or financially, or just providing some type of stability. So I just think always having an open line of communication that just helps, because some people, they don't want to have a missing side because of just disconnection. So I wouldn't want my child to be raised in that type of atmosphere, just hate, or my other parent wasn't here because of XYZ. So no, I would just always have that open, and then it's up to the child to have building a relationship with them.
I agree. Brittany. That's. I wish a lot more people thought like that because our reality is kind of not like that. A lot of times, the relationship ends for whatever reason, whether it's on the guy's side or the girl's side, and we weaponize the child, and the child winds up becoming a pawn in a war that they didn't create or they had no issue with. And at the end, the child is really the one who suffers, because if both parents don't come together and work together, you're going to have issues. So I do agree that the best hope for the child is for both parents to work together, period, because you both made them. So both of you should be able to work together to seek a solution that's best for the child. But a lot of times when emotions come into play, that kind of gets pushed to the wayside.
Yeah. So well, this is a good topic. So I'm just I don't even know where to start for real. So yeah. My personal experience, because I do have a child. My child will be 17 next month. So we deal with that now, even now. But more how could I say this? I don't have no communication with the other parent. Okay. So I don't talk to her daddy. I don't call her daddy. I don't text her daddy. We don't have a line because now she's at the age where she has her own phone. She didn't have her own phone for a few years. So you can communicate with her. You can communicate with your dad without me. Right? That is how I felt when she got of a certain age. Um Now her younger days when she wasn't able to think for herself and we had to communicate, it was I never shut him out. I never kept him away. But the broken promises, or you doing stuff and then you fall through and you don't do it and you hurt my baby, and then of course, as a parent, as a mother, you get upset because your baby feelings are hurt. You know what I mean? And that's the worst shit. that you ever want to see, because you're supposed to protect your kids. So how is it that your other parent can hurt you and supposed to be the one that your parents supposed to be the one to protect you? You know what I mean? So you doing the hurt, and then I got to be there to mend her broken heart, basically, right? So with that being said, like I guess I'm the few that probably didn't become the bitter baby mama, so to speak. Like I said, I never cut him off. I never asked her life. I never kept her away. It was just him. It was him, right? So when she got older and she started asking those questions, I would explain, but then I say, go ask your father. Or, go ask your dad. You want to know something, you got to ask him, because I can't tell you what's going through his mind. I don't know. And I ain't going to lie to you, and I ain't going to sugarcoat it. This is what's going on. I don't know why he do it, why he feel the need. You got to go talk to him. So even now, her being older, he has disappointed her in her teenager years. And mommy sit back, mommy, like I said, once again, mommy play hero, mommy kiss the boo-boo, put the Band-Aid on it. But now these years is critical, because in another year this child will be 18. And it's like, even now you are damn near a stranger to her. She know you, as her father. She know who you are. She know what you look like. You know what I mean? But she don't have no relationship with you. So it's almost as if you are a stranger to her.
And it's you see that a lot. And I have a lot of friends that had kids, and I think what they be thinking is, I got time. You know what I'm saying? They're still dealing with, when the relationship ends, everybody doesn't come to, even Steven at the same time. It may take years for somebody to deal with it, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. And in those years, the kid is getting older. They're thinking, oh, I got time. And like you said, crucial years is passing by, because once they get grown, you can't get that. You're not daddy. You're just father. You fathered them. And that's something you can't get back. And I think a lot of guys don't realize that until either it's too late or it's close to being too late.
I know that. Yeah. And now with these new kids, honey, you're going to be bro in a minute, because they not even about to acknowledge you. And even though you be like, that's disrespectful, that's your daddy, but this is what we're living in. So, what up, bro? Shit. I don't know that man right there. Me. My daddy, he wasn't around. Huh?
What up, cuz?
Right. Or you might just be the unk. What up, unk? Excuse me.
And can you really blame them? Can you blame them? If you didn't play no formulating part in their life, you got to take that L. What can you say?
You gotta do it. But in the same token, because I guess I'm still old school, so I'm not with the new parent in the new generation. I ain't, I'm still new. I'm old school. So the respect is, even though if he didn't, you still can't disrespect him, right? You still got to give him his respect to an extent, okay? Like we go to church, we do the Bible, whatever, right there, back on the thing. Her little 10 commandments I bought her when she was a kid, right? Okay, so one of them up there would, obey your mother, your father, your days should be longer. So regardless to whatever, because he got to answer to God, you know what I mean? Or whatever, when his day comes, you still got to give that man respect. That's the level that I raised her. Regardless, he disappointed, he ain't been there. I know sometimes you get angry, you want to cuss him out, but that's you expressing yourself. And I give you that, because he needs to know the hurt or what he's done and understand. You know what I mean? This didn't happen overnight. It took years. So whatever built up that I might not know about, when y'all talk or get together or whatever she unleash is what it was, you know what I mean? That you did that.
Yeah.
So, but still, and the thing is, giving a daughter's respect, regardless, stranger, whatever, your daddy, your mama, your grandma, respect is just respect because you're still a child, you're still a kid, and that is still that's an adult, right?
Oh, no, we laughing and stuff, but you're right. It's
You know what I mean? Like, but like I say, these new kids, like you say, they will probably, and the new mothers, you know what I mean, will let that go, like you say. All right, bro. And they talk like you talk to your dad like that. You talk to your mama like that. Well, she ain't do that. But you know what I mean? Like I said, we still in a old school way of raising. So you still gotta give that man his respect. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it's a difference
What happened?
between like some people be like, oh, a donor, and being an actual like father, or but I had another person that raised me, like another male figure.
Brittany, you paused for a long period. Say that whole sentence one more time.
You breaking up? I thought she was freezing. That's why I was
My bad. I don't know what happened. So like, you know how some people be like, well, you was just the sperm donor, but I had but I had another person raise me. So like, how does that play a difference? Like, the father figure versus the biological father.
Okay.
The guy who raised should get the credit. Mm-hmm. He should get the credit because you put the legwork in. You like she said, he put the Band-Aid on, you kissed the knee, you wiped the tears from her eyes, so you should get the credit. The sperm, I don't believe in using that word sperm, that's a little harsh. That's a little harsh. But if I'm a firm believer in if you are the father, there are certain things that automatically should happen. You should be in your child's life. You should be financially responsible for your child. You shouldn't, your child should not have to look for you. You know what I'm saying? The child shouldn't have to like, where's my daddy? And like what you said, Brianna, that you don't think about that until you see it yourself. I came from a single parent home, and I remember, say my mother is talking to somebody or talking to a guy, and he says, hey, I'm gonna come get you guys, we're gonna go such and such, and it don't happen. You're crushed. You're crushed. That's a devastating moment, and you remember that stuff. So if it's your father, I can just, man, that takes it to a whole nother level. And then let's say it's repeated. He keeps doing it. The kid may not say anything, but that's gonna leave scars. And there's, like you said, you're going to be the one who's saying, hey, baby, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And that's not right. You got to answer for that stuff.
And vice versa, because don't just put it all on men. You got deadbeat mamas too.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had male friends that are single fathers, and you got, your female. So it's vice versa. Like, you're going to get your time. You got to explain that to them kids. When they start answering them questions, like I said, when she started asking, you got to go to the person, because I can't tell you. Mommy been here. You know what I mean? I didn't walk away. I did what I supposed to do. So I can't answer for that. That's a grown man. You got to go talk to him. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know.
Even if he doesn't answer, it's going to come back out in the wash, because how does the civilization cycle work? You have children, you get grown, you raise your children. What happens? You get older, then your children take care of you. If you did not invest in that caring bank, there's nothing for you to draw out. So they're not taking care of you. Guess what? Nursing home, here you come.
Exactly.
Home, here you come. Nobody visiting you. You getting bed sores. You the person in the commercial that they talking about is being abused and nobody knows. You know what I'm saying?
That's not funny, but
it's the truth. That's the truth. If somebody's coming to see you on a regular basis, how do you have monthly bed sores? It's impossible. Right. So that means nobody's coming to see you. So that's that scenario. And then you come to find out that person got 4 or 5 kids. Whoa, done. Questions answered right there. You didn't invest in them kids, so them kids didn't invest in you. And I firmly believe that's what happens. That's why nursing homes is building like this.
They booming business. Brandon, where you keep pausing and cutting off?
I don't think, I don't know. Maybe I got a bad connection or
Yeah, you do because
something, but I don't think it's, I'm still cutting out.
Yeah,
You on?
All right, let me log out.
You in?
Huh?
You in now?
I'm in.
yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it's just like the people that have badass, like they didn't have any type of role in they parents that have any type of role in raising them. I don't think it's all those people just not in nursing homes. I just think it's,
I mean, some people, of course, it's natural.
yeah, it's like a handful. It's like a handful.
But it's gonna be a nice.
Yeah, like now.
We're gonna be the majority.
Like, yeah, now it's gonna be like, nigga, you wasn't shit. You wasn't there. But I mean, like, it. I guess it's like it's a cycle. Like, you abused me when I was younger. I'm about to abuse your old ass. Your ass ain't get no medication. Fuck your pay. But it's like,
or just don't care. Oh, you at the nursing home? Yeah, I see you when I see you.
Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that's just so terrible. But I don't know. I always have like this whole thing, like treat people the way I would want to be treated. That's just me. Like, I wouldn't want nobody to treat me nasty. So I'm always smiling, always happy, and with stuff with other people. So I always expect that, always back. Like, show me some reciprocity. I don't know. I would hope when I have kids, my kids ain't ever gonna be evil towards me. Cause I'll be like, bitch, your ass gonna be evil out the wheel. Let me stop playing.
But you know what? And then, like, in my daughter's situation, like, her dad married, and he had 4 more kids. So my daughter has siblings, right? She doesn't have a relationship with her siblings. They left and moved out the state. So when they left, the last 2 little girls, they were babies. They were infants. So now they big. They don't even know who she is. Like, she don't know them. They don't know her. The first 2, they were older. They were bigger. You know, they know her. They, know who she is. The last 2, they don't even know who she is. She haven't seen them. They big girls. I mean, well, they gotta be like somewhere like maybe 3 and 4, but still, they left when they were infants, when they were babies. So they don't know her. She don't have no relationship with them. You know what I mean? Or none of her siblings. They not even close. So they have no nothing. Like you say, when you get older or whatever might happen and you expecting for your kids, it's probably going to be your kids. It's going to be them 4 that you was in the house. That's what you raised. And Brianna, my daughter probably could just be like, y'all take care of that. She could.
But she the oldest though, right? Out of all 5 of them.
She's the oldest. She, or she might be a sweetheart. Ain't no telling. But I wouldn't count on it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Even if she do come in there and might take care of you, she might do you like, oh, girl, I'm mad Black woman. Throw your ass in the tub, leave you for 3 days. I don't know what she might get over there and do to you.
That's always, to me, that's always a bad situation. That's why you got to make sure the one you have your kids with is the right one. Because whenever you start a second family, the first set of kids and the second set of kids is going to be a natural competition. It's going to be a natural competition. And especially if the person is trying to establish a whole nother family, he got 4 other kids. So that's a whole totally different commitment.
And it's another feeling. My daughter have asked, like, when she was younger, because she felt like they live in the same house. So he see them every day. He with them every day. And she just out here and you just, you know what I mean? Like, you forgot about me. Like, you know what I mean? They get to live and wake up and go to sleep with you. And then it's her over here. And it's like, that ain't a good feeling. That ain't a good feeling. You know what I mean? Me, my daddy, like, I know my daddy in and out of my life. Like, my mama and him lived together when I was little and all that, but I really don't have no relationship with my daddy. Like if when I see him, I speak to him. I acknowledge him. That's my dad. Like I don't disrespect. Like I said, I don't disrespect him. But you know, even like now, you want to start over, or you know what I mean. I'm open. Like I'm cordial because you're my daddy. But I just like again all them years that went past, or where I felt like I needed you the most and you wasn't there, like my teenager years, or you know, the critical years, like you say, the teenager years, my early adult years, like maybe when you know you wasn't there when I needed you the most, maybe some of these, like I think that maybe some of these mistakes that happened, they probably could have been stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Had I had my male figure, you know what I mean? But I didn't. And then I just had my mama. And then we butted heads as a teenager because now you know, I'm smelling myself. And I think she just cock blocking everything. You know what I mean? So this is how, you know what I mean? This is how we get here. This is how we get to the teen pregnancy and having babies and doing this. You know what I mean? This is missing over here.
Right.
You know
That
how
gap.
some people go out and look for daddies and men and niggas and we get fucked up because we don't know, because we ain't had it. It was absent. So you trying to fill a void or a gap, but you know what I mean? You don't really know what you're looking for. You say, you know, you want love and somebody to show you that, but then it's all the wrong love. You end up in abusive relationships, or, you know, it just be this, or you tolerate and disrespect it. It be this, but you don't, because you don't know, you ain't never had it. So you searching, you know what I mean? So it's that, like, so I just felt like the time that I needed you the most, or you wasn't there. And it's like, now that I done got it, like after I done had to go down the wrong road, hit my head a couple of times, fall down and understand, like, okay, wait, this ain't working. Now I'm rolling and I got it. And then it's like, here you come wanting to kindle, and man, and then me, I'm kind of like, it's too late. Like, you my daddy. I love you. You know what I mean? But right now, to me, it's just like it's gone. You missed all that.
Brianna, do you look at me as your daddy or as your father?
Well, like it's kind of hard because like I say daddy, right? Father. Because like I said, when I was little, my daddy was around. He was around. So somewhere like in my about like maybe 10 or 12, we kind of he fell short. You know what I mean? So these, like I say, now I don't really know my daddy. When I was little, a little girl, I was my daddy's little girl. You know what I mean? My mom and daddy, they did live together. And even after when they broke up, I was on my daddy's house. He came and got me. I spent the night, me and my sisters, me and my cousins, like we was at my daddy's house. Like, it's crazy because my mama told me, like, it was sometimes like my daddy, he would even get my little brother. Like my mama had to work and he didn't have no problem with my brother coming over like that. So, you know, at one point, this man seemed like the greatest man, the goodest dad. You know what I mean? Like, dang, you know, most men probably won't even do that, but he seen my mama trying to go to work, and you can leave him here with her, and he had fun and treat him no different. And then somewhere, you know, in that kind of, I don't know what happened, and then it just went downhill from that. And so, you know, and it's crazy because my dad ended up having 3 more kids. I got a sister and I got 2 brothers. Now my sister and my first brother, they don't really have no recollection with my daddy. Like my sister, she came, like I said, she, you know, would come over and visit and stuff when her mama would let her, however. And then my brother don't. And so then my dad got married. And so my little brother, that is now what, 18, 19? His mama and my dad were married, so they lived in the same house. So between me, the first kid, and the last kid got more of my daddy time than the 2 in the middle. Crazy, right? But I mean, growing up now, like all three of us, not my last brother, but all three of us, like now, you know, I don't know my daddy now. I mean, I don't have no relationship with him. I'm just seeing him. My little younger years, I got more of my daddy than my sister and my brother. Like they don't nothing. And then my little brother, he was in a marriage, so he got my daddy more. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, and it's like, and even now you're a granddaddy. You know what I mean? You don't even have relationships with your grandkids.
Is he involved with any of his kids?
My little brother, that's it.
I mean, other than because he lives there, is he involved with anybody?
He's divorced now, but he's been around him all his life.
Okay.
Like I said, when I go on my daddy's side, I will see him sometimes. Cause like I still talk to me and my grandma just hung out. I still got my relationship with my grandma, my auntie, and her kids. And that's probably just about the closest of my daddy's side that I'm close with anybody. So I still get them. And then I see my daddy. And then like sometimes he will text me out the blue. And and it just be that. But I guess in another, like I say, it's just that to me, I just feel like you're a little too late. Like I acknowledge you. I won't deny you. But you just you late. Like I say, when I needed you the most, you was not there. So now is I don't have it all figured out, but shit, I didn't did all other you know what I mean? Like now it's like
I don't need you for the.
So you don't think?
Solution.
Do you think like if they weren't there for you, like they probably couldn't make it up with like their grandkids? You don't think it's like they could make it up like in that type of justice? Like you wouldn't want them to help out with the grandkids or anything? Like if they acknowledge they messed up with you, but they wanted to be there like more physically, more emotionally, more financially with the grandchild, would you let them?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I would. Like I said, I never shut my dad out. I just felt like it was just too late for us. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, you want to get to know me and know who I am. Not what you mean. You know what I mean? I'm almost 34 years old. What, I'm supposed to go back and tell you about the last 25 years that you missed to bring you up to speed? Like, you know what I mean? Like when I had my daughter, my dad came to the hospital and saw my daughter. He's seen her out through the years and stuff. You know what I mean? But he didn't, like you say, wanted to come in and come step up. Like you say, I messed up, so I need to be right with my grandkids. You know what I mean? No, but
Now, see, that's different. You, because I was going to say, after what you said, Brittany, most parents, that's usually what they're going to do anyway. When their kids have some kids, you can't beat them off with a stick as a grandparent.
Right.
So
Yeah.
nowadays, when I see grandparents and they taking a lackadaisical attitude towards their grandkids, to me that's alien. I've never seen that before. I mean, I was always around grandparents who wanted to. They couldn't get your kid enough. So it seems like that's a little different nowadays. You got some grandparents just like that, but it's just like what Brianna said. Some people may not feel that they may feel that they did the best they could, and just kind of take that. Well, hey, that's life's lessons. Toughen up. That type of deal. That's really not realistic, because if your kids got scars, or if the kid is expressing remorse about things that's happened to them, you got to address it. You can't just pretend like because it didn't affect you doesn't mean it didn't affect them.
Right.
You still got to address it. And to me, that's the part about the old school I don't like. That's an old school thought where I couldn't tell you I loved you, but I bought you a whole bunch of stuff, and you should just see the stuff and automatically assume that I love you. That's the old school way. That's the not putting the, that's the, I want to not do what I gotta do as little as possible. Whereas if you put all the work in, hey, what's wrong with telling your kid you love them? How can, to me, that made no sense. But in my generation, I saw that so many times. Guys that will have everything, and you be sitting over their house and you looking at all their toys, and I would be saying, man, I wish I had it like this. And they would literally turn to me and say something like, I would give this all up if my daddy would tell me he loved me. Huh?
Yeah, that's
That balance.
And that's a normal thing. And all of those guys will grow up searching for their daddy's love and wind up going off on some deep end somewhere because daddy couldn't tell them that he loved them. And then even after they go off on the deep end, the daddy still never says, hey, son, I see this is this. I love you, son. I just want to see you do better. Pfft, nope. Still go down the path. Still won't tell their kid they love them. And sometimes it don't work out.
Even the people without their mama, because I got friends that didn't have their mama, and you know what, you can, it'd be like you can relate to a saying, because I didn't have my daddy, you didn't have your mama, but you know, I guess now being older, I probably would want my mama and not my daddy. Like, you know, given the thought, looking back on it, like, nah, I'm lucky my mama sticked around. Because I mean, but I guess it depends on the parent. Like now, knowing my parents, I'm glad my mama the one that stuck around. Because if my daddy had been the way and it was the opposite, I think my life would be a whole lot different. But then I think I'll be fucked up too on a certain extent. Not saying that my daddy worked and he was a provider, man, our household and stuff. I mean, like you say, he probably go do the best he could do to raise us, but it probably wouldn't have been like how my mama did it. So I kind of be like, oh, well, you know, like, I'm glad my mama stuck around.
So you saying like he to provide the financial side, he just want to provide the emotional support side.
Yeah, probably that part. And I mean, my mama did both financially and you know, her love. My mama was mean. He telling people my mama mean. She a Pisces, but she mean. Now, since my daughter, her only grandkid right now, she's sweet to her. But me and my brother, I'd be like, oh, no, baby, you get away with stuff, murder at this point. That we would have got our ass tore out the frame. So, you know what I mean? Especially now, like, you know, the attitude, like we had attitudes and we might talk back, but my mama is like being very light on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I guess you say people kids all they life and they still fucked up. So beating the grandbaby ain't about to do nothing no way. Like, but it's crazy. Like, I just don't get it. And I guess from a person, I don't never see how a person can ever abandon their kid. Okay. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand it. Even when you watch the news and people killing their babies or hurting them, and you be like, oh yeah, do take them to the hospital or take them to the fire station.
Leave them on the steps or call somebody. My thing is with that, like, I would rather, you know, deal with my obligation for my 18 years than to have the system tell me to deal with the obligation for 18 years. Like, you know, I would leave, you know, child support, all the other type of stuff out of the whole situation, because that's a whole nother ordeal in its own. So, like, I don't know, like, even so, like, to the point, like, you know what you're doing. Like, if you're not ready to have kids, then don't do it. Or even wrap up.
Yep, there you go.
So that's the simple part.
But that's assuming that everybody is going to be mature about the deal, because once the feelings get involved, and all the rules kind of go out the window. Because you know what I'm saying? While it's good, it's good. When it go bad, it's going to go bad as hell. It's going to go real bad.
Hey.
So, and
crash and burn.
And you
crash and burn.
And in that situation, a whole lot of variables come into play. You know, now the guy has no say so. Hopefully the woman is aligned with keeping the daddy on board. Hopefully the daddy is trying to stay on board. You know, a whole lot could go wrong in a short amount of time in that situation. So if it comes down to make sure whoever you having a child with, that's the right one.
Yeah, but you
Search
see,
them out, background check them. You know what I'm saying? Blood and urine samples.
but see, once again, we say that. That's just the same thing like with abuse, not getting off the. You say people don't show you their true colors up front. Usually it take a little bit of time.
True.
Like you say, when you dating a person and y'all in love and y'all do all to get to know you and all of that, and you thinking you don't know. Like you say, you don't know. Because every day somebody mind change. They, you know what I mean? We don't know what mindset they're gonna be in. From the time you get pregnant, they take a baby 9 months to get here. So that's almost a year, right? We don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, like that fast. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, I don't think a person ever just say. I mean, in my instance, I've never thought that I would be a single parent or my daughter that would abandon her or, just not took care of his responsibility. That wasn't in my head. I didn't get that, especially because was our first baby. This is our first baby, his first baby, my first baby. I didn't think that. Like, that didn't play in my head like this was going to happen. You know what I mean? Especially when, when I got pregnant and you knew, and it's like, well, they never asked me to get no abortion or nothing like that. That was never even on the table. You know what I mean? So, okay, we go through that. You know what I mean? And then the first 2 years, it was good. Like you say, you were there. And then now, okay.
Did y'all ever want to get married, Brianna?
Nah. But, he ended up dating somebody. So, that's how we broke up. And then he got her pregnant, which ended up being his wife later on. That was his wife. That's who he had his kids with or whatever. And that's fine. Like you say, people grow out of love every day, and that's fine. All I ask is that you take care of your responsibility, right? I understand you get bitter baby mamas, bitter baby daddies. Like you say, they pine, they get mad. You can't see my baby because we ain't together, or you not fucking me no more, or you get mad, want to throw me on child support. That was never my case. Like I say, I'm probably the lucky few that will be happy to have me. But I didn't do that. What how we got the child support is because at that time I was young. Okay, so I had to apply for assistance. No shame in my game. I had to get help. I have a baby out here, right? I'm 16, 17, 18. I graduated at 18. Okay, I'm out of high school now. Is this real? Like, real life. This is kicking in now. Like, okay, baby. We got to get out here. You know what I mean? So I have to get help. So, all right. Got to go apply for state, right? You sign the birth certificate. Of course, they coming after you. That's automatically. We're going to take care of your kid. You're going to have to kick us back, right? Hey, that's just how it works, right?
Does that paper go in?
So I got to do what I got to do because I have a mouth. I've had somebody to take care of. It wasn't no payback or to get you back or I'm mad. No. You said F us. And so I'm going on about my life. Like, I got my support system, my mama, my granny, but to a third, I still got to do. So, I have to apply for assistance. I have to make sure we are straight. And in no times of doing that, like his mama died, but when she was alive, I had his mama would help. My daughter had a good bond with her grandmother. That was her lifeline. That's who she had to bond with, the grandma. That was her best friend, whatever. Then she died. Then my baby was devastated, of course, right? It's a grandma. So then that just became, that became the end of that. Like, if she didn't see her daddy no more, she couldn't see him no more. The only time because she got to see her daddy really is because she be with the grandmama, and of course they gonna see. The mama gonna see her son. You know what I mean? So that's about the most interaction is that because your mama come and pick up your daughter and keep her for a weekend or do stuff with her is the most you see your child through your mom. And when she died and all that, the connection, my baby don't know none of her daddy's side of the family. Like she know of them, but she don't have a relationship with nobody. So once again, she don't know nobody. So, you know, it's like what pisses me off is because I never asked for much. Now I don't ask for nothing because it's nothing. I'm there. Shit. Baby 17 next month. I'm there. The struggle part, I done did it. I done been through it. You know what I mean? But what pisses me off the most is that I never asked much. Even if you couldn't financially provide, okay, well then come spend time with her. Give her your time, right? Because like you say, you never get that back. Be around, read a book, do something. You can go to the school meetings, okay? You can't, if you can't financially help, or you it's something else you can do.
That's true.
But not to do nothing and up walking around married and keep popping out babies, and then you say F her, that pisses me off. It pisses me off, and I know that her feelings is hurt because as she's older now, she's seeing it. So you know what I mean? As a mother, that makes me angry. But you know, then you complain about when child support is taking out this out your check, but you don't send her a dime. And then you complaining about pennies to me. We ain't getting no couple thousand or no couple hundred. You know what I mean? Like we getting bullshit. $90 a week. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Let's be real. Let's be honest. A pair of gym shoes is $100 or something. She a girl. I keep her hair braided, keep her hair done. Always kept that baby hair done. Okay, baby. This shit you giving me, what is it? Nothing. I can't even say you reimbursing me because that $93 a week ain't shit. I spend that more in a week. That ain't even a day worth of money for her.
That's not even electricity. That's not even internet with Zoom. That's not even her phone bill.
When she was going to school and stuff with uniforms, in Southfield, they had to have custom uniforms. So they had to have a logo. So I couldn't go to Walmart and all that and just buy some blue Dickies and a t-shirt. I had to go get the shit with the logo printed on there. So it's $20, $30 a shirt. Skirts is $40. You know what I mean? Her socks, like, baby, come on, for real. Like, you complaining about shit, but don't do nothing.
I don't understand how a guy complain about that type of stuff if I used to think that it was just a bunch of, when I was younger, I used to hear the stories and I used to think it was just a bunch of women trying to just get guys on child support. And then I got older and I realized there was a lot of guys just like you said. They would say, fuck you, you know, get the money any way you can. I'm not doing nothing. And then expect you to just let your child, die? You're going to do what you got to do to take care of your child. So instead of you paying the money, now you're going to let the government force you to pay the money and they're going to get a kickback on the money? Who's the fool in that? You're going to pay it anyway. So why not do the right thing and give it directly to your child? Because if you go to friends of the court, they get a cut. They get a cut for processing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Or do stupid stuff. Quit your job and try to sell weed.
Even worse.
They can't take no money out. Oh, okay, fine. Like, you gonna try to avoid your responsibility. Let me call these folks and tell them you down here selling Nick bags.
Get that underemployment so I can come get you. File that PPP loan so I can come get you.
that dumb whole shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? And as a mother, like you say, even mother, fathers, like vice versa, you're gonna keep going because you know what I mean. If it was just me, it'd be just me, and that's fine. But now when you got another life, it's a different ball game. You gotta keep going, no matter what it is. Working odd jobs in between little jobs. I had to keep going, right? I had to keep pushing because I got somebody depending on me, right? I gotta take care of her, no matter what. It don't matter. But if he do dumb shit, want to quit his job, sell weed, so he don't send us no money, she still got to eat, right? Mm-hmm. Still got to get back and forth to school. She's everything. Hair got to be done, everything, right? So that they're not calling the people on me for neglect, right? I gotta maintain her. But it pisses me off because like you laid down with me and we made this baby. And first of all, you got more control of it because I can't nut in you. You nutted in me. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. But it pissed me off. Like, in not one day of your child, of her 17 years or whatever, have you called and just made sure she had anything? A fucking coat in the wintertime, nothing. Shoes, boots, nothing. Like, you don't even call and just make sure, you don't even know how she doing. You just assume she doing good because why? Because I'm the woman and she supposed to be living a high mighty life where she you know what I mean? Like, we just over here rich. Like you just assume because if you don't communicate and you don't know. But as a parent, you never even checked in to even make sure she have a winter coat, winter boots, something under her Christmas tree, her birthday coming around. You just never, school getting ready to start. You know, school starts same thing. Day after Labor Day, they going back to school. No, make sure she got school clothes, uniform, pencil, Crayolas is 98 cents. You nothing, crayons, no nothing. Like you didn't even. You never made sure she had nothing. You just assume she doing good and that we over here, hey, like,
especially now.
Don't get me wrong, yeah, but I'm struggling, but I'm making it happen. And you not even call to even make sure she okay.
Like,
you know what I mean? That's the shit that pisses me off because you just,
assume.
like you said, you don't give a fuck. And you just like make a way. Well, you know I'm on assistance because I'm on child support, or you know I get food stamps, you know that, or you know you assume and all of that, and so you just assume she okay because the state is involved, but the state ain't giving out no money like that. Like you say, you get these little food stamps, they'll feed you all day. Don't get me wrong, they give you food stamp. That cash assistance, I got it, $400 a month. What the hell is that? It's something, but can no two people survive off of that? We'll be real, you know what I mean? That's even like a SSI check, $700-800 a month. Who really? You can't, not for no two people. So now guess what? I got to get little odd jobs, whatever, make a minimum wage, something's better than nothing, right? Till I can get us where we need to be, right? All right. So now, like I say, she fine now. I mean, I done struggled enough for the both of us. So, you know, a little bit like, you know, mommy got in I had to get in a better position so I can put her in a better position. Because everything I went through, I'm trying to avoid her from going through it. So I had to get in a better position so she'll be in one. I have struggled enough for the both of us, so you don't have to. So, you know what I mean? I just forbid, like my daughter asked me not too long ago, she said, Mom, I had a dream that my daddy died and I don't think I cried. She said, is that wrong? Like, I don't think I would cry if he died. You entitled to feel how you feel. I'm not gonna tell you supposed to sit there and boo-hoo for somebody you don't know. That, you know what I mean? Just cause he your daddy.
Yeah, that I think at that point it's just like, you know, it's just a title, but it's not like, you know, you didn't have a relationship. Like, yeah, I feel sad, like, you know, my father died, but we really didn't have any, you know, any sentimental, it wasn't anything of sentimental value to it. Like, I didn't feel like I lost, like, for example, it was the grandmother. I didn't feel anybody had a personal relationship with. So yeah, I can grieve for the loss of my father, but not as a loss of an individual that I knew. Yeah,
That's
I feel that.
like a loss without no pain.
Mm-hmm. Because that's all I was gonna say too. Like, you know, he didn't even call, like during the whole pandemic. Like, you didn't even call to check on me. I could have been on the vent. The child could have been on the vent. Anything, like, you know, you could have been without a job. Like, anything could have happened, but it's just like no type of communication. That's like, it's just messed up. Like, you know, you know what you got out here. You know, you got children or a child like outside of your marriage. Like, come on, bro. Like, be an adult and say, at least acknowledge it, or, you know, handle your situation. Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy.
Mm.
You where the heck you go? But you got people out. You got dads. You got mothers like that. I like I said. I just don't even understand how nobody will ever turn their back on their kid. How you ever abandon them? How you go on about life. You got kids out here, and you living it up. Like you just like no care in the world. Like I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, you gonna answer to that. If you don't answer to your kids, you got to answer to God. You got to do something because you ain't getting through that gate without explaining your stupidity. Like what was you doing, dog? It's no way. And then if something happened, like you say, you want your kids to be there or take care of you, or you think you about to get this love back because you no, baby.
Nope.
I'm sorry, it don't work like that. And I know everybody be like, you block your blessings, but you know what I mean? To understand when, how.
Yeah.
If you
I
didn't care
think that's
about me, why is it that now it's my turn? And if I do bad, then I block my blessings. Or you know what I mean? God won't forgive me. But nah, well, like now how does that work?
and I think that's one of those generational curses type things because what you see is this is a repeat of say their parents. Like if you go back and look in their lifestyle, their parents was like that. Then you go back and look, and their parents was like that. So nobody ever broke the cycle. You know what I'm saying? You look at their relationship with their kids and it's dysfunctional. It's not normal. And you go back and look at their relationships with their parents, and it's not normal. So that's not an excuse because you it's still a choice. But a lot of people come from dysfunction and they don't understand that it's dysfunctional just because that's all they know. They think it's regular, normal life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at some point you want to break the curse. I mean, you know what I mean? Even if you was one, like if we was raised in a bad, I say that because I have friends, you know what I mean? But even if you was raised in a bad home or environment, I think at some point you want better for yourself.
That's it.
Or
But how do you
or
know
you
was
know
raised
you
in a
get
bad
your
environment?
kids, you don't want to be them parents your parents was. I think some stuff click, like you know what I mean? It just be like, we know we got ass whoopings. And probably why these kids don't get ass whoopings. But besides they can call the police and we can go to jail now. But that's okay because my mama popped me up in the police station. So you know what I mean? Like
Anna, how do you know if you've been raised in a toxic or bad environment? If that's something that you've been used to all day,
Well,
all day.
you'll know it when you go associate with other people and they're not in a toxic environment. You'll notice it. Like say you go spend a night over your friend's house. How is it going to be at their house? Moms and dad going to be fighting. It'll be a different environment. It'll be a different environment.
I can say from like when I was growing up, I could never, like my parents were so strict, I could never spend the night over any of my friends' house because my parents would be like, we don't know them. So it was more of like they were sheltering me from like the unknown, you
Like
know,
ever? Like ever? Never?
never spent the night at my friend's house. Growing up in high school,
Even best friend or nothing like that?
nothing. I could never do it because I guess it was like they didn't trust people. It was like so
But
much.
they let us spend the night over your house?
Nope.
Wow.
Never had that type of relationship
I
with friends.
get the part where you like you don't know them, but then usually the parents will meet and had a little talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go
Yeah,
over to the house.
they would like meet at parents teacher conferences, but they still like I never could go over my friend's house and spend the night. So I never experienced that aspect of, that socialization aspect. Like, oh, what's this different outside the house? But I could go spend it, like as I got older, I could spend the night over my grandparents' house. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I think like when I was in maybe like late middle school going into high school, I was able to go over my friend's house, but I could never spend the night because I mean, like people was predatory, like people was you got the R. Kelly's of the world, praying on kids. I'm
R. Kelly.
you got the
Excuse
in the
me, it
white
was not
van.
Kelly, it was Robert. Okay, we're gonna get that right.
You got the Robert Kellys of the world and the Drake and Josh of the world just praying on kids and you would never know like people's intentions. Like again, like how you said, like people may have like this one face on, and like once you like actually get to know them, they got these other like malicious intentions. So like, yeah, it was really hard for my family to, you know, let me go out with other people, like, yeah, or spend the night, I'm sorry, with other people. So I never experienced that. So like for myself, I wouldn't know it would be dysfunctional outside of my house or my grandparents' house. I wouldn't know like what is abnormal, or like even on TV. Like I'm like, damn, that shit dramatic as fuck. That shit don't happen in my household. Shit, lifetime would be all types of XYZ. Like, this ain't normal, Medea. This is not what goes on here.
And
so,
also, you observe your kids, you observe their friends, because you know what, a lot of times, like you say, Joanna go over somebody's house and then she be like, you know, or even me, you go over house like this happened at their house, but see, it's more of them in the house. It's only us two, so it's less drama to go on over here than, you know, you as somebody with 4-5 people in one house, you know what I mean? But even then, like you watch too, and it might not, like you say, it might be love, it might be you never know. Like you got kids that don't eat and you don't know, but if you watch them and pay attention, they gonna let you know. Like not necessarily saying it, but you know, they like Joanna has some kids come over, right? So like, you know, the kids, you feed them. That's what you do. But you watch how much they eating, and you like, okay, well, y'all don't smoke no weed, so I know y'all ain't get no munchies. But in your mind, you like, these babies probably don't get to eat like that at home. You eating, like you just observe eating. Yes, it's here for the sleepover. Like I went out and got this stuff for y'all to eat and enjoy. But you know, as a parent, if you pay attention, like you say, it's kids, they coming from all over the world or whatever their backgrounds, and you don't know. So to me, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, you know, you watch. And like you say, they ain't gonna tell you and probably tell you unless they kids that talk too much and been told you all their parents' business. But like stuff like that, it was just like, ooh, them kids always hungry every 5 minutes. You know, they'll come and ask, can we eat that? Go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna turn
or
down
like they parents
or they
never
just
gave
want
them
to
like
eat, or
sleep.
maybe y'all got a certain time y'all don't eat, or maybe, you know, you say it might be that, or you know, you say you be surprised. There's kids that don't eat. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like we get food stamps and it's kids that's not eating. You know what I mean? Look how the lunch program had to come home and bring them lunch. Now when they was in school, they was sending kids home with lunches. Like ain't no way, because if you qualify for free food, then most likely your mother is getting food stamps or your dad is getting food stamps, right? You getting free lunch at school because you got to fill out that form. And it's like for them to say, even teachers like, we got kids that come in there starving, and this is the only time they might get to eat. Now they pack them extra lunches to take home in the bag with them. Like that is absurd to me. Like it's just like it's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know. And then, you know, your grandma had friends always be like, you so spoiled, you get everything. I wish we lived here, or we'd be like this. And it'd be like, well, yeah, she my only child, so of course she gets probably a lot more than if she had 2-3 brothers or sisters to split it with. But you know, it's not even that. It's just like I still give her love, I still give her that, and then I do extra because I'm trying to make up for an absent parent too. You know what I mean? But like I said, I just don't get it how anybody could ever just abandon life, like just I don't understand. Like you go on and you know you got kids out here and you not check on them. You don't know if they eating. You don't know nothing. If they being abused, they being molested. You don't know nothing.
Yeah, that is crazy.
This is wild. It's wild. Even, you know, the other parent could have put the other kid in the system. Could have put the kid in the system. You never know if you're not having that type of connection.
Right. How many of them we got out here? When they talking about it's so many kids in the system, they don't even got enough foster parents. Like the system is overpopulated with kids, but they know where to put them. So they grow up in the group homes and all that, because ain't the people like.
What type of life can you have if you growing up in a foster home or a group home?
Well, it depends. First, if you get some good parents, I believe you could be all right. Now that group home, because you be moved around and you just with kids from all, like you say, all over, all them nationalities, and y'all just, whoo, that's trauma, okay? I know it's got to be. Like you say, you got kids in there might be molested, abused, anything. Now you mixing folks. So like you say, then this kids touching on other kids, turning kids out. You know what I mean? Like it's a mess, ain't it?
Here comes Josh.
Yeah, it'd be too much things, like especially with that too. Especially like people, like I think it's more stigma. People are like, oh, I don't want to adopt older kids, or foster older kids because they come with too much trauma. It's hard to break them out the bad habits that they may already have, and they might be stealing, doing drugs, or I might have another child in the home. They might do XYZ to another child. It's different things. That's why like some people be like, oh, after a certain age, it's just like, nah. But I'm like, those are the people that need y'all.
But you know what? I took my foster parent class. I did take it. And going through that licensing, it sound crazy. We ask them questions, but like, I would want a little kid. That's my preference. I want somebody, you give them to me when you taking them out the hospital. Like, you got those. They be waiting on the mama to have the baby, take them and place them. You got to give me somebody that ain't talking. Because, like you say, they talking, oh, honey.
Yeah, they already got built in.
And like you say, even a teenager, bringing a teenager in with time, my little babe, well, my daughter was a little younger. Because I got to go to my mind. It's like, damn, you know what I mean? You don't want to disown nobody. Like you say, everybody need love, everybody need help. But it's sometimes you got to take precautions. My family, my daughter's safety comes first. I want to help, but if I help, I got to help. They got to be like one and under, and they ain't talking. That way, when they get older, I done broke them in. So all they know is me. You know what I mean? They ain't traumatized. They've been here with me. They know me. Compared to you been to this foster home, this foster home, this group home, this group home. Now we teenagers. Then in they folder, they have it, and they let you know. This kid might like to play with fire. Oh no, he can't come here. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Hey Josh. Or even so, like,
hey,
oh.
But yeah, like, oh no, you're not bringing a little fire.
I was saying my apologies. My apologies.
You all right? But yeah, little fire started. Tony ain't coming over here with Marshall Beal and them. I'm not. No.
So many families, not even just single children. It's like siblings are in there too. So not everybody want to adopt or foster 3-4 kids at a time. So you don't want to break apart the family either. So that's just the downside to it as well when it comes to adopting or fostering.
Well, honey, you can give me 2 at the most, but I'm not taking in the whole family, because at this point, this mama done did too much, and I just ain't finna do it. Like, I'm sorry. If they was twins, something like that, and I can't separate the twins, you know what I mean? All right, fine. But 4, 5 of them, like you say, if the whole family in there,
Mm-hmm.
my preference is I couldn't. Now, single, maybe married, if my husband say, if we had that discussion to say we could take on that, then that might be a different look. But as a single parent, a single mama, I just know I can't take on all that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry when it's siblings like that, because that the chances that they all stay together is slim to none. It's almost guaranteed they're going to be split up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the chances that they're going to be able to communicate with each other? Hopefully they old enough to be able to have numbers and all of that type of stuff. Man, that's a crazy deal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, now that we in a social
Well,
media world, but look how long it take you to get to Facebook and probably find your other members. Or, you know, if they get adopted off, them adoptions, sometimes they change their last name because now that is my
Yeah,
baby.
this great
And
say
so
that.
now you don't know. You out here searching for your sisters and brothers, and their last name might be changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you
well,
know, the long run
somebody,
is now you
Daddy.
doing it to your sister or your cousin because you don't know them. You know what I mean? That was
Wow,
it
wow,
there.
really?
Why you go there?
I mean, I'm not going there, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying that, you know, this is, you know, it could happen. I'm not saying, but but even just like your daddy or your mama being absent and out here having babies, right? You don't know your siblings, right? So we don't know we don't know.
I don't date nobody with
Brianna,
the same
I'm
last
sure you're
name.
not my sister.
First of all, I knew.
I don't date nobody with the same region. And I don't date nobody of the same ethnicity. It's a 2% chance that we related.
Okay.
If I know my daddy is a
Well-
Rolling Stone, I'm dating outside my race. That avoids my brothers and sisters, don't it? I'm
Well,
like,
I don't know if y'all know this, but I am adopted, and there is 4 of us. And Yule knows that me and my sisters were all separated. 3 of them went to 2 different sides of the family, and I went to a different side of the family. And we have problems to this day. And you know, so y'all are right. You know, we couldn't really stay in touch. We have different belief systems. I mean, it's terrible. You know, so. You know, so if you are going to adopt, I look at it differently. If you can adopt everybody, then try not to break them up. But, you know, I know that's pretty hefty on, anybody. Because me and my 3 sisters were all separated. We all went to different family members.
yeah, but see, like, okay, well, y'all
But
kind
as long
of
as they
stayed
still
in the
the family.
family, though. Y'all different family matter just got y'all. But even y'all family wasn't even close to keep y'all together.
No, too much and too much. And like I said, Yule knows a lot about it because I talked to him a lot about it. Too much separates us. They're heavily religious. I grew up not part of the family that was heavily religious, and then when I got 16, they moved me to Texas with the other side of the family that was heavily religious. And I mean, things just, like I said, we never got along because we were always separated and our belief systems were always different. So we never, even to this day, we don't click as much as I think we want to. You know, we just don't. I click more with you, Brittany. I click more with you, Brianna, than I click with my sisters. My sisters.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like my mama only had me and my brother, right? Like I say, I got sister and 2 brothers on my daddy's side. We don't really have a relationship. I know them. We friends on Facebook, but I don't have a relationship. Me and my brother, we do us. Like, you know what I mean? I guess if it's like if our mama died, it's just me and you, homie. You know what I mean? And it's like we probably not as tight as I want us to be, but I feel like my brother know I got his back. I know my brother got my back to an extent. Like if we, was to lose our mama, it's just us. That's it. It's us and my daughter. That's it. So you know what I mean? I guess to an extent, it's like, you know what I mean? I feel like that too, because my daughter is my only kid. And if I left her, it's just her. Like she got a daddy out here, she know nothing of. She got sisters and brothers on her daddy's side, she know nothing of it. It's her. It's her by herself.
And that's what I think about too. Like if something was to happen to the other parent, who would take on that responsibility? Like say you got a young child, that's 10, and the parent that's taking care of them now passes away. like the responsibility goes to the person that signed the birth certificate? Like what happens in that aspect where they be like, no, or shit like that? It's just it and the father or other mother is not present. Like
I had a conversation like that with my daughter years, like when she got a little old enough to understand, because that was another concern. She said, "Mama, if something ever happened to you," she said, "I got to go with my daddy." Well, first you're gonna go to court, probably. You know, I hope you go to court. You got a godmama, but if my mama is still living, your grandma gonna take you. Now you have to go to court. If your daddy try to come put up a fight, you old enough to talk. You get up on that stand and you explain to them, and you let them know you don't know that man. So safety wise, you don't know that man. You know what I mean? Like if he just happened to do that, right? And I'm dead, I can't, I'm dead. You at the point now, you old enough to talk. You better get up there and tell that judge you don't want to go with him. You don't know him.
Well,
I
she
know
over 16. Your daughter over 16, right? So she get to make
she over 16 now. But even before then, like I think we had this conversation maybe when she was like 14 or 15. My baby's very smart. But you know your grandmama been here all your life. You know your godmama is your daddy. She been here all your life. She is my baby daddy. I picked a good godmama that's been my baby daddy for real. She done did more than him and come to events and do everything than your daddy. You know what I mean? But you at the point where you can, like, if they had to put you on the stand, you can go on the stand, after 7? They feel like if you can hold trial and get up, you tell them. You don't know that man. You don't know him. He don't take care of you. He don't call you. It's just what it is. You ain't hurting his feelings. You telling the truth. And usually, if the judge see the paperwork or see if he can't hold up, where you been? You took care of her? You probably don't know where her birthmark at. You don't know nothing. So how you want to come in and fight for a kid? You don't got nothing. That's like letting a stranger go to your house. You're about to let her go stay with this stranger. You know what I mean? Like we have had to have them talk because you don't know. We don't know, right? Everything got an expiration date. Life got an expiration date. We born to die. We know that, right? Like you say, this parent's been absent. But yes, because you want the birth certificate, it might be a fight. But you got your mama, you got your grandma. Before that happened, I'm sure my mama probably been killed your daddy. if he ever thought he just gonna come out of nowhere and take her grandchild, oh baby, my mama probably been turned that courthouse upside down. You know what I mean? But we have had those talks, and and that's another thing. Like you say, if something ever happened to that other parent, and like you said, if you on that birth certificate or they come and tag or whatever, what? And even if you don't step up, then you're gonna just let your kid go to foster care? What if they don't have grandmamas, godmamas, god daddies, nothing, nobody to come and get them, uncles, nothing. So then you know what I mean? Yeah, you think about that. If that situation ever occurred, you just let your kid go to the system.
Wow. Well, you want to tell her or you want me to tell her? At the end of the day, the courts are almost going to do anything in their power not to give that child, especially to a black man. So that ain't nothing you got to worry about. He can fight all he want, but he probably not going to get sentenced. They'll almost get it just works that way. So I don't think that would be a concern whether or not, she would go to him, because they're always going to do everything in their power not to give him to the court systems. Don't want that's what makes Jay Smooth so amazing. For him to be able to win his son in court, that's crazy. That's correct. That tells a lot about his baby mama. Yeah. Like, had she put up a little bit of a fight, she would have won.
Yes.
Yeah. They will not give them kids to men, because court systems don't want that. They want to get a child to the mom. That's what they want to do, or the grandmama, auntie, or something.
You can only get the kids under 2 circumstances. You can only get the kids if the mother's transient or if the mother's on drugs. And for her to be on drugs, you have to be able to prove it. When they talk about prove it, they talking about multiple drug tests. So that means that you're gonna have to catch her slipping, know when she's slipping, and they got to get to her before her system get clean. Transient, you got to be able to. What is it? You got to be moving around like 4 or 5 places within 6 months. Now, if you just move like if I had a friend that he wanted on the transient tip. And basically what it was is the baby mama, she was able to get a place to stay, but because she was so combative, she would go to the mother's house, they get into a fight. She goes to the sister house, they get into a fight. She goes to the cousin house, they get into a fight. So that's how he was able to get her. But under most circumstances, how many times are you going to be able to prove that in court? Very few.
What about like when CPS is called out to like investigate or any type of stuff like that? Like, okay, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's doped up or on drugs and the kids haven't been bathed in days or haven't ate. So they don't use that against them?
Now, I'm going to give you a story.
No.
I was working in the projects. And matter of fact, Herman Gardens. Over by the 800 section, we were riding down the street.
The fuck was you doing in Herman Gardens?
First of all, what's the 800 section? The addresses?
Yeah, that's the 800 section. The 800 section. And I was working with the City of Detroit Housing Police at that time. And we riding down the street, and we see this bright white up ahead of us, like on the ground. We thinking it's a bag on the ground. When we get up closer, it's a baby in just diapers, a 2-year-old baby in diapers, a little boy walking in the middle of the street. It's like 3:30 in the morning. Okay, we get the kid, we start searching. His mama come up to the station maybe about 3 hours later. By then, we didn't call DPS. Everybody got involved. They doing the whole 9 yards, right? Okay, DPS come take the kid. Come find out she based out. She was out. Kid done left while she based out. 5 days later, driving down the same street, what little niglet do you think I seen in the street? With the diaper on, with nothing else. Him. Walking down the street doing the same thing. 5 days later, after CPS, after DPS came, after the police came, after all of that stuff that happened, she got her kid back. Still was basic.
She was that mama off Boys in the Hood. Get the babies out the street.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh,
And just think about how many times that happened and it slips through the cracks. Because she was a known dolphin. It wasn't even like she was like a in-closet dolphin. Everybody in the hood knew she was. And she kept getting
projects. Everybody know everybody in their business. Okay,
you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Projects. Any community subsidized or anything like that, baby. Everybody know everybody just about, and everybody know everybody's business. And like you say, honey, they knew that. And that's crazy. But and it's crazy. Like you know what whew, baby.
And that was a regular deal. Believe it or not, I know that sounds crazy, but that was, by the time I had seen that one, to be honest, I wasn't upset. I was kind of jaded. It was kind of, okay, we got to take another baby and find out whose it was, because it happens so much. He was the youngest at 2, but it was nothing to see a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old sitting outside their apartment because mom's is in there getting her guts banged out, and to lock the door, and the kid can't go in the house until she get done doing whatever she's doing. It's like 2 o'clock in the damn morning. He's sitting outside, cold as hell.
I must say, back in the 80s or whatever, baby, our parents or whatever was wild. Now,
Yeah, they was raw as hell.
That wild, but back then they wild. But you see what I'm saying? And then maybe like our generation, we are right. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got some crack babies in our, but now these new kids out here, oh, them the great grandkids is coming out. Oh, them the real dope fiend babies out here. Okay, the lean, the Xanax, perks, whatever they popping. But this is normal. They ain't even in the closet. Like back then, like you said, you had crackheads in the family. I did. We didn't know they was crackheads because they didn't do it out in the open. They did it in her. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't know. Now it's they do it. They don't care. The rappers make songs about it. We can snort, we can drink lean, we can pop perks, and we can do this. This is that. And not ain't nobody just paying attention. Like, y'all just crackheads, right? Like the weed ain't strong enough. The weed ain't strong enough. Now we got to go something stronger. The Vikings. That's straight crackhead shit. And that nobody sees that. Like, why the kids? This is why. Every day is a killing. Every day this is something we going on. Why they don't have respect for the elders. Why they speeding them down the street doing donuts. Don't get me wrong. We did dumb shit in our day, but this is just beyond retarded. Like, we living in our last days for real, because this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, this is never. But like you say, back in the day, I had friends.
Put the organ music on.
You know, you had friends, parents that were crackheads or might have did, but they was functioning crackheads. I work with functional crackheads. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
plenty of them out here.
But they hid it. Like you say, they're not cutting and snorting up in front of their kids. We, like you say, we had them in the family. We never would have knew it.
Yeah, we work with functional drunks. We work with functional drunks.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. No,
yeah,
we didn't.
did. We worked at the physical center with straight functional drunks. Functioning drunks.
So why we respect our drunks? Like, we respect them. When we see Unc at the stove, we respect him. Like, we know he might just want to give him a little cheaper his pint. We respect him. Oh, these kids are knock Unc over. Like, he ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like, they just
money for their figs.
We contribute to the shit, because when he didn't ask for $2, that's all the pint didn't cost. So his $5 o'clock, we didn't bought it anyway. We gonna contribute to the shit.
No, Brianna, that's a girl thing, because we guys didn't look at him like that. We ain't giving him shit. He ain't getting a dime. Hey, bro, get a job. Get a damn job.
Everybody look out for
where my
Unc.
pint?
They look out for their Unc in their hood. If you had Unc in the hood at the liquor store, we just did not go past him and be like, nah, you gonna drop some change or go buy him his little pint. You know, he don't want much.
We had to know that. We had to know that guy. Like, he had to be damn near family. Hell no.
Well, yeah, that's no complete straight. That's what I'm saying. You know, you got your respectable drunks or your respectable crackheads, like we knew in the hood. Like, we see that we know. Like,
now, hold on now. We didn't go that far with respect.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I don't know them crackheads. But the people at the liquor stores that be asking for a quarter, I give them a quarter.
I'm talking about in our younger days, you know, when chips was a quarter, hugs was a quarter, you know, like, we can go and ball. I'm talking about, like, our days. We wasn't mean because we would get our ass whooped. Like, we were still getting whoopings for being disrespectful. These kids don't get nothing for being nothing. Okay, that's why they running around reckless like they is.
Oh, I wasn't disrespectful. Well, I just wouldn't give them my money. That's all. I just wouldn't give them no money. That's all. I ain't gotta disrespect it. No.
That's what they need to bring back. Your neighbors, the neighbors that was able to whoop us. See, our community, you can't whoop kids because you be having to fight their mama.
Yeah.
But if your kids is in my backyard, but if your kids is in my backyard and they do something, then in the hey, you can't whoop one and not whoop all. You gonna discipline the whole group. I mean, that's how we were raised. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. In the times we live today, no, you can't hit another person's child because they ready to fight. But it's just like when we was in our neighbor's backyard playing, we all got to whoop it. You can't punish one and not punish all. You know what I mean? It just didn't work. And it don't get me wrong, because she going to go on the phone and she going to call our mother or our grandmamas and told her that everybody just got their ass whooped back here for doing such and such. You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. But I think that's another thing. It's the structure. Like they saying, do you think a kid is different from a 2-parent household from a single-parent household?
That's a good topic. You should send that in, Brianna. That's a good topic.
Okay, well, we done.
Of course they're different. Of course they're different.
I think that's a hell of a topic.
You need both parents.
Oh, wait, let's close
You
out
need
our
both
session.
parents.
Hold on, we gotta close out from our what was our topic? As a parent, how many chances do you allow the other parent to disappoint your child before you call it quits on connecting with them, or do you always leave that door open? So that was our conclusion today, I guess. Oh, did we do our final thoughts?
My apologies, I wasn't there, but can I give my 2 cents in real quick on that?
In our final thoughts. Go ahead.
Honestly, I thought about it all week. I have a beautiful goddaughter I raised as my own, and I thought about it all week.
Mm-hmm.
I think you leave that door. I think you leave that door open so they can see it themselves.
Yeah.
Because I hear stuff all the time. I hear women all the time talk about their baby daddies. I hear baby daddies talk about their baby mamas, and I just really think I think you leave that door open. If my daddy ain't shit, let me see it. Don't disguise it from me. If he keeps breaking my heart, then he keeps breaking my heart until I see it and I make that decision. Instead of you telling me, now I don't know. I haven't seen him in 10 years or her in 10 years. I don't know. And they're going to have a different story. But if I can personally see it through the junior high school years and high school years, and I make my own decision, I think it's better that way. I think you leave that door open.
I agree. Same thing I did with my daughter. I let her see it. She get to see it and see it for herself. Like, I never shut that man out. I never, like I said, I never kept him away from her. His doing was his doing, and she got old enough to see it and understand it, see it. So at this point, you can't blame nobody. You can't blame the mama because she know better. I never kept you from her. I never pawned you, or I don't care about you going on getting married. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Bye. I wish you nothing but the best. But you still had a child over here you was responsible for. And you didn't do, but now she sees that. So you know what I mean? Like you say, if you don't answer to her, you gonna answer to God for sure. You gonna have to. And like you know, it's crazy. Like you say, you got to get old, and you hoping that all your kids be there for you. Your 4 might, but that one might not. You know what I mean? Just how she feel. And that's
I agree with Josh. I believe you've got to keep that door open all the time. For both, for the reason Josh said, to let them see for themselves and not try to guide or mold their decision, but I also believe just for the hope that they come to their senses before it's too late and realize that not so much that this is their responsibility, but this is something that they created and they would want to love and nourish and cherish and want to see it raised and do right. So you would always hope that, some people may start out wrong and then realize that, hey, I need to get on board and get on board. So you would always hope that the other parent would come to their senses and do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, same with me. Like, even so, like, it may happen when the person was younger. And, as they progress through life, maybe they might be in a better situation emotionally, spiritually, financially. They might be able to provide for the child. And, just as long as they don't have, like, a wall in between them and stuff, which is the other parent, like, just leave some type of open communication. And, maybe that might rectify the absenteeism from the last parent. So, just always having an open communication, like letting them know, like, they could come back at any time. And even if they're a whole ass adult, like, you can still build some type of relationship with them and just, apologize for whatever happened and, let them know why you was gone. I don't think it's ever a situation where it's just ever too late to fix a situation. That's just me.
I agree.
Yeah, but even as an adult, you coming in now, you basically you about to be my friend because the parenting, you being my daddy or my mama, is
Well,
gone. It's
well,
over.
that's
Like
it's still
like
fun.
you still my mama and my daddy, and I acknowledge you. But like you said, you coming into my adult like now I'm 33 or whatever. You're my friend, homie.
Yeah.
Whoever raised me is my mama, my daddy, right? And then you might be my biological. So I'll never disown you. But what you about to do, honey? Come on, that like for real.
I
Mama,
do believe there are consequences for not being involved. So you can't expect them to have the same relationship if you were engaged as if you're coming in and 20 years have went by and you're just not coming in on the scene. There's going to be a level of detachment that you're going to have to deal with because you created that detachment. So you can't fault the kid. Well, I'm trying to reach out to them and they're not showing me love. Well, they reached out for you 20 years ago and you didn't show them love. And they were kids. You're a grown adult. So that, like what I said earlier, some of that you got to take the L for. You know, you created that scenario. So you may not never be able to get a father-daughter relationship or a mother-son relationship. You may just have to settle for a better relationship than what you had before. And that's better than nothing.
Amen. I agree with that.
amen.
Yeah, what's 100?
I like that. And even the parents being here every day, let me tell you, it ain't been perfect. Because right, we not perfect, right? I done made my mistakes, right? This parenting, it didn't come with no manual, like when you buy a bike and it's got instructions, right? We just learning. So for the last 17 years, I've been learning, right? I had my mama, my grandmamas, help, but you learning. I've been here every day with my baby, but I ain't gonna say it's been peaches and cream. It ain't. You learning. You learning as a parent. Where I mess up, I will apologize. And my daughter knows that. I have did it. When I'm in the wrong, it probably take a lot because I'm the grown up, right? And you be like, you gotta apologize. But I cussed that girl out and I might have went a little too far. I gotta go back and I gotta apologize, right? That's what it was. Just anything, like you say, you want respect, you give respect, you get respect. In showing her right is right, wrong is wrong. And when you mess up, you be an adult about it and you apologize. You accept your responsibilities. And that's just what it is. I'm going through the teenager phase. So sometimes Lord be with me because I got my bail money put up, but I haven't made it yet. But if you know, okay? Parents with teenagers, are y'all okay? Especially little girls, okay, baby? Let me tell you, I got my bail money set aside, but we ain't got that far yet. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and that's why I said I don't ever see how nobody ever turn their back on their kids, turn your back on your seed. You produce them. I don't get it. Like I say, it ain't all been fun, games and giggles. We cry, we hurt, we struggling, we doing it. But I just can never just walk away from my responsibility or lead them out here to fend for themselves. Or just go about my life and I know they out here. You don't even call. You just went through a whole pandemic. You never even called to see if they was on the ventilator. Did they ever catch COVID? Nothing. You don't even know, right? You don't know.
Right. That's true.
And it's crazy.
Absolutely.
It is crazy. It's crazy. Like these are blessings. You never regret your blessings. It's blessings. And I don't understand how nobody could ever, want to hurt their baby, hurt their kid. Like, I just don't get it. Turn your back on them.
Well, hopefully some people that's on the fence that's watching this podcast will take your words to heart.
All right, y'all, that concludes for Skip the Formalities. I'm filling in for J Smooth. Hey, Cass, I love y'all. There go Britt, and there's Josh, and that's you. Hey, I think I did good, y'all.
Did good.